Hi guys, and welcome back to this video. Today we are talking about ADR and dubbing and or voiceover and all that kind of stuff inside DaVinci Resolve. For our last feature film, A Very Southern Church, we were thinking about dubbing the film into German because German is our native language and we have a lot of supporters back here in Germany. So we were thinking, okay, how could we possibly do that? We reached out to dubbing studios and got quotes in that were just way off from what we were planning to spend on something like that. We're like, okay, come on, let's figure this out. Can we just get our film somehow dubbed into German, even if the quality is okay? And Germans do have a very high standard for dubbing, but I think we still were able to kind of figure it out and we were able to get somewhere. While I am talking mostly about dubbing, the same kind of principles apply for ADR, so automatic dialogue replacement, which is not automated at all, but that is kind of the same way you can do it if you have bad on-set audio, or if you just want to get even better audio afterwards, which is something that we are actually kind of thinking about getting for our next film, which is going to be a war drama where we know that on-set audio might not be perfect because of the locations, so we are kind of already in pre-production experimenting with the thought doing ADR afterwards. Okay, maybe a couple things before we dive into DaVinci Resolve itself. There are some things you want to make sure you have before recording anything for your film or whatever. The first thing is sound treatment. You need somewhat of a sound treated room or booth, something that has thick cushioning. It could be pillows, it could be thick carpet, it could be blankets, it could be sound insulating materials. I, for example, have those pretty fat things that I borrowed from my church. Those are like acoustic panels in a more professional style. And with those, I actually built a booth for my voice actors. Why do you need that? Well, because if you don't have anything like that, the ambience of your room, any kind of flat surface is gonna reflect certain sound wavelengths. If you've ever worked on anything where sound was critical, you might have noticed that just certain things or certain rooms just sounded really off, weird. There were weird frequencies. Before I was diving into all that EQing stuff, I didn't know anything about it. But now I know how bad it is if you do not sound treat it. So that's first. The second, you obviously need a good microphone and a recorder interface or whatever to record whatever you are saying. The coolest way to do it is definitely if you have something with an integrated interface option where you can just have it right into DaVinci Resolve. And that's the option, that's how we did it, and that's what I'm gonna show you in a minute here. Before I tell you inside DaVinci Resolve how we actually ended up recording our dubbing, let me show you kind of the way that others told me how to do it and YouTube tutorials did, and we started doing it that way. Okay, so inside Fairlight, there is actually the ADR tab here. And while it is cool that you have the ability to kind of record over the same kind of, like inside one track, you can record over the original one, and that kind of automatically mutes any track that's beneath it. So it's really cool. You can set it all up here and then hit record. But DaVinci Resolve ended up crashing on me multiple times, like over and over again really, where we ended up not being able to use it for too long. I think we did one or two characters that way, and then it just stopped working for us. So we ended up going into the normal editing page, and this is how we do it. I think this is where we stopped the last time with our voice actor. Okay, so basically down here I still have the original soundtrack. I pretty much added just another audio clip, audio track here where I record my dialogue into. So first we just take a normal text. We listen to whatever the original track says.
After my walk through this heat, I can really feel for them.
And after my walk through this heat, I can really feel for them. All right, so got to translate it into German, and now it's time to record. I might actually go ahead and do some changes to the actual text here to make it a little more visible. Maybe put it down so the person dubbing can actually see the voice, the mouth more, and kind of adapt to it a little better. Okay, and then we would just go ahead and single this track right here, so we don't actually end up using anything down here. It's still on speaker, right? And then we just go to this voiceover tab. We select the audio track that we want to record on. We select, okay, currently I'm set up for this setup, so I do not have my audio recorder hooked up to my Mac. But usually here would be my audio recorder, my interface. And then I could say, okay, let's make sure that we get a proper naming in. Let's say scene 36. So if we end up needing it later on, we can still find it in like the file name. And then everything it is just scroll to the point where it starts, hit record. It does like 3 beeps. Und nach meinem Spaziergang durch diese Hitze fühle ich wirklich mit ihm. Okay, I'm not sure if that did anything because, oh no, because I had a stupid, but that's how you do it. You kind of click pause and that's it. You get that audio track down here. Of course, that does require you to afterwards, after you recorded, to go ahead and either mute or delete the original audio track. But with our experience with working through that, it's actually fairly intuitive as an editor, especially to get that work done. And I feel it's even faster than in the actual ADR tab. Let's listen to something that I have recorded here. Oh yeah, here you see, I have not deleted this track yet.
Ich meine, als die Israeliten laufen mussten, mussten sie 40 Jahre durch die Wüste.
Okay. And yes, it does take quite a bit of time and preparation. You don't want to have your voice actor come in and you have to go ahead and actually write all the dialogue out while he's there. But if you have it set up prior, it just works great. The actor can come in, you can record, and that works pretty well. Okay, I'm saying voice actor here the entire time. So the way we did it, we have a friend that is very talented in kind of working with his voice. He is a singer and everything. So we asked him if he wanted to do the main character.
Hey Ruth! Scheiße, warum hab ich jetzt Ruth gesagt, nicht Ruth? Sorry. Hey Ruth! Kann ich dir mit irgendwas helfen?
Then we also had a couple other friends come in and do other smaller characters. In fact, we ourselves recorded multiple different characters, took our kind of German dubbing of our voices, put that into AI, ElevenLabs to be exact, and ElevenLabs was able to kind of transform it into whatever voice we told it to. And that worked fairly well. I'm not saying this is like professional, high quality, voice actor level, not at all. You can still kind of tell sometimes that it is AI, but I think for the budget that we had, which was like 0 for this part of the project, we're like, this is awesome, we can work with it, and it just gives us the opportunity to actually have our film translated into German without having to have 50 different voice actors come in, or even people, individuals, even friends. Getting 50 friends to come in and record, that is a lot of work. Like, we had like 10 come in, and with everyone being super busy and not having 5 hours out of a normal week work or whatever, because that's when we work, yeah, it's just a little more complicated. So AI did actually help us out in that regard. And ElevenLabs is super cool. You're able to set it up that the pacing of your voice, even like certain emotions of your voice, are translated into that new voice. So it doesn't sound as monotone as like an AI voice would. And it keeps the pacing. So if we are the voice actors and we kind of act it into our program, into DaVinci Resolve, we can just export that and it's gonna stick to the exact timestamps, kind of. In this scene, we have one character who was played by an actual person, and all the other ones were AI. Are you able to tell which one it is? Please let me know in the comments. I would really wanna know if you're able to tell.
Hey, spielte Rahel nicht auch mal Bass? Vielleicht könnte sie ja...
Ja, sie spielt Bass. Und anscheinend ist unser neuer Pastor... Anscheinend ist er attraktiv.
Daran besteht kein Zweifel.
Nein, nein, du musst deine Töchter beschützen. Und wir müssen unsere Kirche schützen. Aber wir können ihn nicht einfach entlassen. Der Verband hat ihn gesendet.
Okay, if you have any other questions regarding ADR or dubbing into another language, the way we do it, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer those questions. If it's big enough to do another video about it, I'm happy to do that as well. So if you're interested in those kind of things, feel free to follow along, and I'll see you in the next one.